What's up, y'all? I am Elisa. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Tune in to some of my previous videos. I am back. I am back. I cannot stress that enough. Y'all, I uploaded a previous video last week on where I've been, just to kind of give you guys an update because I hadn't posted in 6 months. So just kind of explaining, some of the things that I was going through, some of the things that prevented me from recording and uploading over that 6 months. And in today's video, I will be sharing with you guys, I did talk briefly about losing my fur baby Diesel. So this video is just a reflection on having him. Those of you that have been following my channel for a while may have seen him, in the background of some of my videos, because he stayed trying to make an appearance on my videos. Like, he would be in the background of some of my vlogs and things like that. I never got a chance to formally introduce him to my channel. Diesel was a 7-year-old, we say Cane Corso, but I believe that it's pronounced Cane Corso, Italian Mastiff. And we had Diesel for 7 years, 7 long years. Diesel came into our family when he was 8 weeks old. He was so little and so cute, and I did not like dogs. I didn't want a dog. My husband wanted a dog. He couldn't wait until we got a house so that we could get a dog. So as soon as I gave him the green light,
He came straight over there to you.
He found a breeder. He got Diesel, brought him home, and I didn't want nothing to do with him. I'm not even gonna lie, because I had never had a pet. I had never had a dog. I didn't like dogs, couldn't stand dogs. Like when I was a child, my daddy, of course, had dogs, but I didn't fool with none of them. I just wasn't a pet person or a dog person. But getting Diesel, man, it took me a while, but I grew to really love him. That was my baby. Anybody that knew me, that was around us, that was around Diesel, knew that was my baby. You couldn't tell me that it wasn't. I was kind of forced into having to take care of Diesel because at that time, shortly after we got Diesel, I wasn't working. I was literally just at home, and my husband was working in the office. So I was forced to have to care for him, feed him, give him water, take him out, to use the bathroom, interact with him, play with him. So that's really pretty much how he grew on me. That's really pretty much how we grew, the bond that we had before he passed. And I miss him so much, y'all. I really do. It's funny how life works. Let me just say that, because, I went from not being a dog person, a dog lover, not caring to have a pet, to not wanting to lose Diesel, to, not allowing or wanting anybody to mistreat him, or, he was very protective over us, but I was very protective over him as well. And I remember when he first started getting really big. He was probably about 6 months. I used to walk him around the neighborhood. But then when he got about 6 or 7 months, he had gotten so strong, he was pulling me. So I remember the very last time that I walked him in our neighborhood, it was so funny because he would hear dogs barking in their backyard, and he would just, he wasn't fully dragging me to where I couldn't control him any. I still had a little bit of control over him, but that was the last time that I walked him. He was probably about 6 or 7 months, because I just couldn't control him on my own. I couldn't handle him on my own. And he would really only go into that mode when he felt like we were threatened or he was threatened. So, we were walking around the neighborhood, and he was hearing the dogs barking, and he would bark back at them, because of course they would always know that he was coming. I guess dogs just have that sense or whatever of another dog being around. I don't know, but so he drugged my little butt, y'all. Like, not drug me physically, but like I was having to like really use all my weight to keep him. And then when we got back to our street and we were almost home, our neighbor across the street was like trying to walk over to see him. Like, I want to see him. He's gotten so big. He's getting big. And meanwhile, Diesel is just barking. And I'm like, why are you steady trying to come over here? And this dog is like really cutting up. So he's like, oh yeah, he looks so good. He's so cute. And he's steady walking closer. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I need to go take him in the house because, he's just cutting up. But yeah, anyway, so I remember we used to buy him, we bought him a pool because Diesel loved water. Oh my God, he loved water. He loved playing in water. I remember when I would go out and water the flower bed in the backyard, he would always want to play in the water. So I would be spraying him, filling up his little pool. He would be running and jumping in his pool and stuff. And everybody was always so intimidated by Diesel that would come over. Like, nobody wanted Diesel to be around, which I often got offended. I mean, I understood because of his size, and he was so big, and he was so protective, and he was aggressive at times, but he wasn't gonna attack anybody. That's, of course, if dogs have that sense. They know good people. They know when your spirit ain't right. So in that case, I mean, he might come after you. But if you were a good person at heart and, you were supposed to be in our home, then he was welcoming for the most part. But we would always have to put him up when people came over because people were just like, he is just so big. And I would be like, this is his house. You got to get used to him because we're not going to continue to put him up. Especially like when it came to my sister and stuff. Like, girl, we didn't have him for how long? But yeah, so I miss him. Diesel was diagnosed with cancer. He had developed cancer in probably April of last year. We had saw a lump start to grow on his the back of his like right leg. It was like in between like his butt and his leg, and it started out small, and we told his vet about it, and he prescribed an anti-inflammatory medication for Diesel. We gave him that, and then we ended up, watching it. It continued to grow over months. And we made his vet aware of it. We took pictures and sent it to him. We finally took him in to the vet after, he kind of let us know, the possibility of it being cancer, the likelihood of it being cancer. And he was able to, get a sample and look at it on the slide. And he still wasn't 100% sure, but he was like 95% certain that that's what it was, just because it was growing and very quickly, and by the looks of it, I guess. So we my husband had already looked into changing his diet, and we bought things like black seed and just turkey tail. I think that was the name of it. Just different things that we were hoping would be able to help him, and heal him. And it was rough, watching him go through that, because even though he ate up until the last day, and he was still like, man, Diesel was so strong, y'all. I mean, like, even though he was suffering and in pain, like towards the end, he would moan and kind of cry, letting us know that he was in pain. But he was so strong, and I say that because, like, even throughout those months of him being diagnosed with cancer and suffering, like, he still never had an accident in the house because he was a house dog. He never had an accident in the house. He still got up and went to the door when he needed to go to the bathroom. Like, he was still eating his food. even though at times like he wouldn't eat all the food. Like we had switched him to a raw diet, and some of the vegetables he wouldn't eat. Like he would just pick them out and kind of pick around his food, but for the most part he was still eating his food. He was still drinking water. But then like as it got closer to the end, he would not get out of his bed unless he had to go to the bathroom. Like I remember he would be so happy. Y'all know, if you've had a dog, or if you have a dog, you know that when you come home and they hear you coming through that door, they're gonna run to the door, greet you, like little tail wagging and all that stuff, and be excited to see you, and when he stopped doing that, I just knew that, he just wasn't doing well. And as hard as it was so hard to have to make the decision to let him go. Just because, like, for me, Diesel had helped me through so much of my own grief and healing journey. And I didn't know how much I needed him and how much he actually supported me, and was there for me. And so through that process, of just having Diesel and being able to lean on him, and him come check on me throughout our time of having him, because Diesel was with me when I lost my nephew. Diesel was with me when I lost my mother. Diesel was with me when I lost my grandmother, and he's really been like a support dog for me. So with me already having endured so much loss and so much grief, losing him, his illness, his death took a toll on me. And it was very difficult for me just having to go through that process of watching him suffer, of seeing him sick, not wanting anything to happen to him, like not wanting to lose him. Months prior to him being diagnosed, we were faced with a situation where we could possibly have to let him go. And, in describing how much Diesel meant to me and how much I relied on him and depended on him as much as he depended on me, I was like, I can't let Diesel go. Like, I don't care what the situation is. Like, I'm not letting him go. Like, I'm not ready to let him go. And then, several months later, he was diagnosed with cancer, to where I didn't have a choice but to let him go, because I didn't want to see him suffer. So, I say that to say, like, loss is difficult. Whether it's, a family pet, whether it's a person, like, because here's the thing, like Diesel, I would really want to be, there were times during my grief and my depression to where I didn't even want to be around people, but I loved to be around Diesel. Like, he comforted me, he consoled me. There were times that I would just sit on the couch and I would be lost or sad or crying, and Diesel would sense that, and he would come and lay his head on me. He would come lay his head on my lap and just comfort me. And it's just amazing being able to have that bond and share that bond with someone that's not even a human. You know what I'm saying? I really can't even describe it or explain it. If you have experienced that closeness, that bond with your own, comment down below and share that with me in the comments. But I never knew that I needed Diesel so much. How pets really need us and how much they need us, because they can't do for themselves. Like, I needed him just as much, and I didn't really know that until, a few years ago, until we were faced with that situation to where we had to make a decision whether or not we were going to keep him. And I just cried to my husband, like, no, like, I can't let him go. Like, I grew an attachment to Diesel, and he was really like my baby. He really was my baby. And I was just so crazy about him. Like, even though I knew that he was a dog, and most dogs do live outside, like, I never wanted Diesel to be outside. Like whenever it would rain or snow or whatever, like I would be like, okay, hurry up and let him out and let him come back in. It's cold outside, it's hot outside, whatever. Like Diesel was an indoor dog. That was his house as much as it was our house, and he was not about to be outside like that. And I laugh on how close, I had gotten with Diesel because of, like I said, I didn't like dogs and didn't want a dog when we got him, but then like we just grew inseparable, and I would talk to him and he would understand me. My sister would always be like, you, every time I call you, you always talking to Diesel like he understands you. And I'm like, he does. He does, because he would get it and he would be responding and reacting to the things that I was saying because he did understand. And y'all, Diesel was so loved. Like, he had a whole TikTok page and a whole Instagram page, and he has so many followers. He had more followers than I did at one point on my TikTok page. Like, every time I would post videos of him, they just like blew it up. They loved Diesel so much on TikTok. And even when I created his Instagram page, like, we had so many brand ambassador opportunities for Diesel. So many people flooding our DMs with, wanting us to promote their brand, their dog brands. And we did, like, we did accept one of the brand ambassador, I can't even talk, offers. But here's the thing. I don't even know if I still have these pictures. If I do, I'm going to insert them in this video. But Diesel was so big. I think that before he passed, he was probably 160 pounds, maybe. But y'all, that stuff was too little for him. And the size was, I think that I ordered either an extra large or a 2X for him. And like none of the stuff fit. And I was too happy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to order him this little, they had like a little puffer vest for dogs that I ordered him. They had like some little, I don't know if they were necessarily rain boots or what type of boots they were, but they had like some little boots, because I was like, oh yeah, when he go outside, like he can put these boots on when it's raining, and then we can just take them off when he come back in. The boots were too little. Like nothing fit him. Like all of that stuff was too small, and so I had to DM them back like the stuff didn't fit, it was too small, and stuff like that. So, and then like at that time, like I had so much going on, so I didn't really have time to be a brand ambassador. But if I had more free time, like I really would have worked with more companies for Diesel. But like everybody just loved him, loved seeing pictures of him, loved seeing videos of him. Like I would post some funny videos of him on TikTok to where we were teasing him with food and stuff like that, and people would be like, oh, just give it to the baby and stuff like that. And I remember y'all, people be so serious on social media. I remember I had posted a video. What was the video? Somebody was in their feelings. Oh yeah. It was a video of him drinking his water, like running outside to either eat his food or drink his water or something. And somebody commented and was like, can you move his bowl closer to the shade and out of the sun? And I'm just like, lady, really? You're not about to just have him in the heat over here. Like, you saw a few second clip of a video and you just assume that this dog is just out here sweating, and he not, because we got him, trust me. So I just laughed. I just thought it was so funny because, it's easy for people to assume one thing from seeing like a few second clip video. But that's just how much love people have for Diesel. And it just made me happy to see like all the love that he was getting, because he really was a good dog. Like, I'm just so grateful to have all the memories that I have with him and of him. And I'm so grateful to have a million photos and videos of him. I'm just grateful for the 7 years that we had him, and I was able to experience him, and that we were able to provide like a loving, happy and healthy home for him, because he deserved it and we deserved him. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. Losing him was just so rough, y'all. Like, that really sent me into a depression. And I know that it's mainly because I had already suffered, so much from losing so many people in such short amount of time. And like I said, and having Diesel throughout those losses, to be there with me and to be there for me. So to lose him was just like, wow. It was just as rough as losing a family member for me, honestly. And I just miss him. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because this is a part of my journey. And this is one of the reasons that I was deep in depression and wasn't able to upload, you know. But I love him. Still, I think about him. He passed at the end of July. We are now into January, and I still think about him. We have a painting of him that I have in my office, and we have a picture of him in our laundry room, which is where he used to sleep. And it was rough for the first couple of months. Like, rough to where I was crying every day, every other day. The house just didn't feel the same without him being here. I would have to close the laundry room door where he slept because it was too hard to walk past that door and him not being there. It was just rough. But I'm getting to a better space, y'all. And comment down below and share with me, your fur babies' names, like what breeds they are, how long you've had them, and yeah, just show me some love in the comments. I appreciate all of your love and support, and I appreciate you continuing to rock with me. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.